So the question is really, when do we have after the fact expenses? Which one are those? So those are expenses that did not come with a bill, right? So we didn't order them, received a bill for it, and then submitted a payment for it. Instead, those are expenses that just simply occur, such as those that were paid by checks, the rent the checks for the rent. And then I have another one that is for an invoice, right? But if there's an invoice, then that means it's already been recorded. So this is an after the fact expense, and it's up to you to recognize, is this an after, like, is this an expense that just happened? And in the system, we're just gonna see them as expenses. Let me leave without saving. So it's just gonna be expenses, and you just simply create a new expense, or from here, you can always go to new expense. Now, if the expense came from, for example, the merchant accounts, that's an after the fact expense that you're looking at with your statement. So all of these MAs, all the transactions that came from the MA need to be recorded. So the merchant processing fees for 1, 2, 3, 4. So how would they look? Let's take a look at this one. This one is going for SK, right? So that's my reference number. What's the payment account? That's the merchant account. Who are we paying? Paros Bank. Isn't that who our merchant is? Yeah. In this case, it's SK's Bank. I think it's supposed to be Paros Bank, though. There's a problem. Let me look at your spreadsheet.
This is what happened, Professor. Like when you fixed my sheet for those references, is now your bank is not, your name is not coming. This is what I want to ask in the end.
Yeah.
I tried to fix it, like I typed manually here, but it's not getting.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just know that it's got to be Paros Bank in there, because you know we got to make the bank, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Just so that it's not confusing, and I don't think that there's an error. Okay, let me go back to your expense. So in this case, it will be Paros Bank, but I'll put it as, I guess it's already in there. Great. Payment method, merchant account. So it's through the merchant account direct. And then the category, there's no items, and you're gonna have merchant fees. Merchant account fees.
I have a quick question. I already posted this expense, but I did it through checkings account. I was supposed to do it to merchant.
Well, where's the money coming from?
I thought I'm paying from my checking, so I just did that.
No,
I got 45 for 6 months expenses.
You have to be able to, like, this is the merchant account statement, right? So this is stuff. Where's the money coming from when you pay it? So you had $0 on your merchant account. You receive $1,655. Out of that, the bank charged you almost $30 for processing that credit card revenue, and then you only get $977.06. So the checking account, the main checking account for your business, never sees these transactions at all. The only thing it sees is that the transfer of $977.06. That would be certainly wrong if you do it all under your checking account, because then when you reconcile this, all these amounts are going to be out of place. You have to be able to reconcile to your statement, right?
But on the transaction list, it's saying that we have to pay our rent through main checkings.
Oh yeah. Look, where's what? So you're talking about different. We're talking about different things, right? So the transaction I'm looking at right now is revenue that is paid, revenue received.
Oh.
Are you? So let's go ahead and make sure that we look at what this is. So this is revenue that we're receiving from our customers, that in order for us to process and receive the payment, the credit card company, in this case is Paros Bank, is going to charge us that amount.
Oh, got it.
So this has nothing to do with anything but your receipt of payments. And if I go to my actual transaction list and look at the receipt of payments, you see the merchant account. Now there are other merchant account transactions as well, including let's see this one. This one right here, that's a receipt payment. Those are the only ones that have, you see, the receive a payment and the account charge, right?
Okay, got it. I
And
thought
so,
like saying expenses also we have to do merchant account. That's why I got confused. I'm sorry.
yeah, and by the way, these are gonna be there as well. You know, the merchant account fees. I don't know if I'm able to filter this. For whatever reason is maybe not let me, but okay. Okay, so let me just look at the merchant account. So there's only the times that I receive payments and they get posted in the merchant account and the fees. So you see these? Something's odd about this. This probably should not be negative. I don't know if that got changed. You changed this, right?
I didn't do anything on this sheet.
Okay, so it's possible that, okay. It's possible that it came like that. So this needs to be corrected. Let me take a note, please. Sounded very accusatory in my tone. So that is transactions, line 24. Okay.
I just
So
want to make sure that I printed it like yesterday, and on my that printout it's also negative 196.
yeah, I believe you. I believe you. So one other thing. So here is one other place where you're actually doing after the fact expenses, and that includes the main checking. So let's take a look at the main checking account after the fact expenses. Notice what we see here. We see the loan payments that we do every month. We don't actually get a bill, we just make a payment every month, right? So that's an after the fact expense. And we've already taken care of the first 6 months with our journal entry for 6 months. And that was the first thing we did, right? We did an actual EFT for the rest of the 6 months. So then these are no longer needed to be done, right? Ernie, there's a positive one in there. You see this one right here? There's something wrong here, like this. I'll have to check this, 40 and 43. So I have to check those signs. Let's just do it right now. Yeah, that's missing a sign. That's missing a sign, but that one is not. That one is not. Yeah, that's kind of confusing, and that's an error. So thank you for helping me catch this. So that's 40 and 42, and then I also said 24. So let's look at 24. That's your account expense. So this is positive, and then this is negative. So that's kind of confusing because we don't know if money's flowing out or not. So I'll just be mindful of that. It's really just look at the actual expense and try to make a negative transaction out of that. That's unfortunate. Okay. I hope those errors are not too confusing for you guys. You know that the payment is coming out. You're not receiving money from the bank for a loan that you received, that you made to pay for something, right? That should be kind of common sense, but you know, just to make sure that you know that should be, you know, cash flow out, or you're paying something out. All right, so the other thing that I wanted to show you here is that in addition to those transactions, right, that are not the ones that are going to the loan, then we have some, just a few, again, for the rent. There's an electronic payment to recognize all the expenses for the year for PG&E. It's like a true-up bill, right? And then you also have some bills that you paid using your checking account instead of your credit card. So these are bill payments. Those are not after the fact expenses. The deposit is not an after the fact expense. The only thing that is an after the fact expense then becomes this, and this, those three. So in addition to your merchant fees and your rent, you only have one after the fact expense for your electric. That's it.